In biology, it is said that these seven characteristics movement, respiration, sensitivity, growth, reproduction, excretion, and nutrition are what classifies something as a living organism, or in this case, a human. Yet, I believe there is something more to it. Whatever we feel, the joy, the hunger, the regret, are all associated with how we appear in front of other human beings. And what better way to show how we built our personalities through events in the past? Now, World War II was one of the ghastliest events in history that still sends shivers down the spines of its survivors, but I like to look at it as a pathetic revenge fantasy all orchestrated by Adolf Hitler. Him invading Poland and orchestrating a behemoth of a massacre with the Holocaust, which resulted in the death of close to 6 million Jews, speaks volumes about how his motivation towards his anti-Semitic ideals carved him into an empty, hollow shell. But what if I were to give you a chance to go back in time and kill Adolf Hitler? Would you capture it? Or let it slip?
See, time travel is a concept that dates back to a few centuries, but if we take a look at H.G. Wells' The Time Machine, this is what gave the concept some traction within the general audience, and thus starting a movement of dinner table conversations and scientific discussions about whether time travel being the next breakthrough in theoretical physics. During wartime, pulp magazines targeted for teenage boys were meant to motivate them to join the army and be able to strengthen their country's defense. These magazines also became a space for writers who wanted to give these stories their own twist, even going back in time to kill Hitler.
Operation Valkyrie was led by Klaus von Stauffenberg and other conspirators when they attempted to assassinate Hitler inside Wolf's lair. If you were to go back in time and kill adult Hitler, you would be aiding Operation Valkyrie. Even though Hitler would be dead, that wouldn't have been the end of it. See, Nazism wasn't Hitler's monster, it was a mass movement with genuine support from all levels of the German society. The most immediate effect of your actions could be that the German military would have surrendered themselves to the Allies, calling it an early end to World War II, but Germany was still destined for doom. If you were to go further back in time and supposedly kill baby Hitler, that might seem a lot more effective, but it would be a lot more disturbing. But where does that leave you? The motive behind your killing is that you're looking out for the survival of your generation. You have the Holocaust to serve your purpose. But regardless of what this man is going to do or has done, the ethical conundrum that is being presented in front of your conscience is of a magnitude that you and I have no idea of.
I Killed Hitler, which was one of the first stories that kick-started the killing Hitler using time travel genre, had its writer admitting that killing the man would have never turned out the way he first thought of. This might be a reason why that story ends with the protagonist becoming a Hitler-esque figure.
Even if we keep these ethical concerns aside, we still have no idea what our alternate future would look like. You might stop World War II from coming into fruition, but you're gambling good and bad choices that might affect your very existence. The internet came up with some humane ways to avoid a dead Hitler to stop World War II. One of them included Hitler being adopted by a Jewish family, which would counteract his abusive parenting and his anti-Semitic beliefs. Another would include that to convince the guy who rejected him from art school to not reject him. Our history might be built on a lot of tragedies, but if we can criticize a few movies for not having enough conflict, then what is life without any? And that's it for today. A very special thank you to my friend Athir for helping me out with this episode. We've been working on this since November of last year, and here we are now. And on that note, I'll bid you another farewell from another video, and I'll see you next time.